Land of power, land of might, exceptional rage, endless fight, patriot bulldozer, leading the way, crushing all foes, making them pay. Flag in hand, fury in eyes, screams of pride, ignoring lies, iron grip, ruthless and cold, American dream, fierce and bold, bow before the storm, unstoppable wave, marching forward, no soul to save, bulldozers wrath, tearing apart, exceptionalism, fire in the heart, no retreat, no surrender, bulldozers force, a savage offender, red, white, blue, burning bright, in the chaos he finds delight, blazing trails of destruction left, in the name of the blessed, the theft, freedom's price, a crimson blade, bulldozer, savage again, legend made, bow before the storm, unstoppable wave, marching forward, no soul to save, bulldozers wrath, tearing apart, exceptionalism, fire in the heart. Blazing trails of destruction left, in the name of the blessed, the theft, freedom's price, a crimson blade, bulldozer, savage of fate, legend made, bow before the storm, unstoppable wave, marching forward, no soul to save, bulldozers wrath, tearing apart, exceptionalism, fire in the heart.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Dozer Den. If you have not yet smashed the like button yet, go ahead and give it a good thumping. Caress the like button. Lean in real close to that like button. Whisper sweet nothings in its ear. And then just pound away, because that's what you got to do sometimes to that like button. And you might get excited about it. You might. It happens from time to time. But if you get excited and you have to hit it more than once, don't just hit it twice, okay? That cancels it out. You want to be a proud killdozer here in the Dozer Den. You must hit it at least thrice. I'm right. What's up, Pull McGroin? Good to see you. What's up, Sanglant, Selva Sojourn, Laura Blades? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to support this channel in a very, very free set of ways, you can like this stream, like the channel, follow this channel, follow the user account Bulldozer74 as well. You can share this stream out with your loved ones, your friends, your family, your ex-girlfriends, boyfriends, Zers, and friends. I'm not judging, just keep it consensual between adults, and preferably behind closed doors. You can comment in the comment section. Commenting is caring. Reposting this stream on Rumble is freaking awesome as well, because the cool thing about reposting on Rumble, everybody that follows you is going to see your repost, and it goes in a little tab on the front page of Rumble that, the idea is that if somebody wants to peruse through that they might catch this channel, and hey, we can welcome more Killdozers into the Killdozer army. Currently, metaphorical. Probably going to stay that way. He'll be lurking in the background, preparing for an exam tomorrow. Hell yeah, Pullman Growing. Good luck to you on your exam, and I hope you are able to retain as much knowledge as possible. Not just regurgitate it in the exam. Actually use it and apply it. It's a tough game sometimes. Tough game. I'm rooting for you, man. It's awesome. Let's see. But yes, you can also follow me on all the other places like X, Pilled.net, thedozerden.locals.com, BitChute, and YouTube. That's right. We're almost at 80 subscribers on the YouTube. That's interesting. Seems like you just put a bunch of shorts out and then people start following you again. Interesting. But yeah, we are close. We're at like 77 subscribers on the YouTube. So if you want to follow me there, you can. I don't really expect that to do much growth there, but it's okay. The shorts do all right. Some of them get like 1,000 views. Some of them get a couple hundred. It's whatever. You should check out my Rumble shorts as well. There is a shorts tab when you go into my account. And, yeah, I think they're pretty interesting. Sipping on some tea right now. Some Rooibos tea from BiltongUSA.com. That's right. It's not just about the meat there. You can get you some honey lemon echinacea tea. Or there's a chili pepper one that I have as well. Very, very nice. Very soothing to the throat. If you've got some issues, you got some cold stuff going on, sinus stuff going on. What's up, 17 George? 17 George 76 over there on Build. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Appreciate you watching wherever you may be watching. By the way, totally aced your physiology and anatomy class. Awesome. 100%. Fucking hey, dude. For 100% on the exam, it's awesome. You rock. Rocking it. Jack the Ripper's back. Oh no. Oh no. But anyways, let's see. That's awesome. Glad for you, dude. Lord, these people doing things on my thing. Hey, there we go. Thanks for the red pill and the repost over there on pill.net, 17 George. Oh man. Let's see, where else are we today? We are on X. I already said all those things. Guys, if you wanna support this channel monetarily, well, you can join thedozerden.locals.com, and for a measly $5 a month, you can participate in one of the most free speech live chats on the interwebs. You can comment on the things that I post, and you can post things you find interesting in that community. What's up, Will Fix-It, over there on Pilled. You also get all the benefits of a Rumble subscription, which include your name lit up in the most beautiful, beautiful shade of MAGA red. That's right, you can catch a Rumble rash here on Rumble. Some would say you don't want to spread rashes. This rash? No. You want to spread this rash. You want to rub it in. Give it to all the people that you can. You can either subscribe yourself and get it, or you can gift subs. That's right, that red present box. You can shower the chat with your love, or spray the chat with your love, whatever verb you want to use. I'm not going to judge you, okay? We talk about stuff and things here in the Dozer Den. Stuff and things. What's up, Hamburglar Halper? Hello, Jammed Clams. That's right. That's right. Oh, man. And if you didn't know, I stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Hopefully we were able to get all of these streams in this week, and I don't have any issues. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, 3 to 4 news topics with palate cleansers sprinkled about to break up the monotony, because that's what you gotta do. Saturday streams is a hangout stream, a decompress stream, a chill stream for all you amazing Killdozers here in the Dozer Den to get away from all the bullshit of the week. We might have one or two official topics, but for the most part, we take music video requests for the Dozer Den DJ Hour, where you can rock out with your cock out, jam out with your clam out. Those are the only two options. If you're intersex, I ask that you please pick a fucking lane. Hell yeah. Gonna be a little bit shorter show tonight. And I know I say that, and I usually end up being a dirty, rotten liar. But it is gonna be a little bit shorter show tonight. Mostly because, early morning work and stuff like that. Awesome, Selva. Watched the last show and it was great. Thank you for that. You were very welcome. Glad to entertain, glad to provide information, entertainment, infotainment. Some may say. It's the name of the game here in the Dozer Den, and if I can help make a crap sandwich just a tiny bit more palatable, I feel like I've done something important, gosh darn it. And I'm having fun, and I'm having fun if you're having fun, to be honest with you guys. Although I would be able to talk to a brick wall for 3 hours if I was so tasked. Just saying, just saying. We do have some topics tonight. Dancing crabs. Yes. We do have some topics tonight, guys. We are going to discuss Supreme Court stuff. So, looks like there's some election integrity. There's an election integrity case before the Supreme Court. They had oral arguments today, from what I understand. That's right, oral at the Supreme Court. Giggity. Saying, I'm telling you, saying it's going to be short. It's making the stream longer. Maybe. What's up, Jixer Trickster? Good to see you. And if I don't say hello to you in the chat, no ill will or slight intended towards you. It's just, sometimes I squirrel. I squirrel here, and I squirrel in real life. By the way, squirreling, did you guys know that ground squirrels in California are eating small rodents called voles? That's right. Apparently there's a protein shortage or something like that, so they've decided that the little tiny rodents, the voles, they'll pin them down, they'll bite their necks, and then they eat them. Good job, California. You've made the squirrels carnivorous. Sodom and Gomorrah. I don't know. I guess Sodom would be New York. Gomorrah would be like L.A. Oh. It's a very manly Bluey cup, by the way. This is actually Lady Dozer's. She has the pink one. I have the red one. They're a set. They're a matching set that I got for Valentine's Day. Well, I got her for Valentine's Day. It's a couple's gift. Whatever. Whatever. It's good tea, though. That honey lemon stuff. You should check it out, guys. I do have a little bit of the funk still left over from last week. I was in and out of the shadow realm last week, guys, with a sinus infection, a double ear infection, and bronchitis. And as I said the other day, I've been told by reputable sources that ain't nobody got time for that. Okay? And I will be shouting out the reposts and the comments periodically throughout the show. I'll be checking on that because I do appreciate you guys helping this stream grow in whatever way you're able to do so. You can do those very, very free ways, or you can, like I said, subscribe, gift subs, Rumble rants are always appreciated. And if you don't want to go through the app processing, you can use Venmo or Cash App. That's right, we have 2 official QR codes. Tickle the QR codes. That goes directly to the Dozer Den household, and to those that are able to donate on a regular basis, thank you very, very much. Thank you to those who are able to subscribe on a consistent basis. You guys are freaking awesome. I don't deserve the support, but I do appreciate it. And to those that are continuously watching these episodes, you guys are freaking awesome. Thanks for sticking with me. We are almost at 2 years of live streaming. I did standalone videos for a little bit, and then I started live streaming. I believe it'll be April 18th will be 2 years. So, it's been a damn good time, guys. Really been enjoying it, and I hope you guys are too. So... Why not add tuberculosis on the list? I know. Just say I wanted the Bluey cup. I mean, Bluey is legit. If you haven't watched Bluey, it's pretty freaking awesome. Cheddar Steve, I donate on a regular basis to the sperm bank. Well, everybody's got their thing. Do they pay you for that? They have a small fee or a small payment that you get for that, don't they? And have you ever looked up what kind of compensation you would get to try to donate a testicle to science? Has anyone ever been that hard up for money? Not saying I've ever done that. Usually if you don't have a specific genetic abnormality or disorder, they don't want it. What's Bluey? Prince of the Air Jr. Bluey is one of the most wholesome family cartoons on Disney. It's actually wholesome family entertainment. It's educational. It's just fun family interactions, and honestly, they really hit on some heavy topics that kids aren't going to necessarily get, but if you're watching as a parent, you're like, oh, did they really just address infertility or a miscarriage? Holy shit, they did. Kids don't get it, but the parents do. You donated 3 testicles. You fucking overachiever, Cheddar Steve. Overachiever. Oh, by the way, guys, any stream that we do here in the Dozer Den, if we hit $50 worth of donations, I'll put on a fancy hat. And we have mini hats. We have the Hatter hat. It's also green, has a buckle, and I am short, so if you want to call it a leprechaun hat, well then, oh, we get up to some fun here in the Dozer Den, don't we? We have the Illuminipple, also known as the foil protection hat. We have a Burger King crown, multiple Burger King crowns. I actually have three options. I have a SpongeBob one, a Halloween one, and the original. And of course, we have the Patriot hat, aka macaroni, because when you put a feather in your cap, you call it macaroni. That's what Yankee Doodle said. Indeed. But anyways, yes, we are going to be talking about the Supreme Court oral arguments about election integrity. I think it's coming out of Mississippi, if I'm not mistaken. We've got some articles on it. We've got some clips from the oral arguments that went on. Gorsuch had some good points. Alito had some good points. Sotomayor is fucking retarded. That's just how it goes. Then we're going to get into the J6 pipe bomber misidentification. Steve Baker with the Blaze has released some more analysis of the gate, or not necessarily gate, but of the, I guess just in general, his dimensions and the dimensions of where he was in his arrest. The Brian Cole guy, or Brian Cole Harris, or Brian Cole, something like that, that's the one that this current FBI has determined is the guy. They're going to have to really work hard to prove that. And he's like legit higher functioning autistic, but still autistic. And there's a common theme with people who are autistic or developmentally disabled that when they start getting interrogated, they'll admit to things that they didn't even do. I think that's the case with this guy. So we'll read through the article, go through some of the analysis that Steve Baker has presented. They kind of look at the dimensions of his body. They look at the dimensions of where he was in his one of his interactions with cops in the past, and look at the footage from January 5th when the quote-unquote pipe bombs, I guess they were, but they weren't active, but they were active. They go back and forth. They don't have a really clear line on that. I think they got the wrong guy. I think it was most likely that Capitol Police officer, the female soccer player. That's what I think. But, I could very well be wrong. And Steve Baker could be wrong, too. So, that's the thing. Oh, good Lord, Poktar Jr. Excuse me. And sorry if I do have to clear my throat periodically. I am still, like I said, getting over the ick. First day back to work after 4 days off. It was a lot. It was a lot. Laura Blades will be lurking for a few minutes. Don't talk about me. Guys, talk about her. No. Oh, man. But, last topic of the evening that we are going to discuss, if you looked at the thumbnail, which I don't know if you guys got a chance to see the thumbnail, but if you didn't, a cornhole quadruple amputee, like he's a quadruple amputee that happens to be a cornhole, like professional cornhole, like competitor, may have murdered somebody and then drove off in his Tesla. I'm so confused by this headline. I'm so confused by it. And there you go. It is a quadruple amputee with one of the nubs falling off, holding a bazooka, because that is where my brain goes. Okay, this is a little bit of the thumbnails that I create with Grok Imagine. It's just a tiny glimpse into what my mind does. Okay, just a tiny glimpse. Laura is Forrest Gump. Laura Blades with a whoosh, slap that peach. That's right, I forgot to say, guys, when you subscribe or when you get gifted a sub, when you're lucky enough to be showered with the love from somebody else in the chat, you'll get access to a plethora of wondrous, stupendous, fantabulous emotes. Some animated, some not. Hopefully all kind of entertaining. You get access to the premium content that I churn out. Got to do 5 hours per month, as I am in the Rumble Creator Program. And you don't have to worry about ads on this channel when you subscribe or when you're gifted subs. So, there is all that. Saying Glant is just plain creepy. Yeah, have you seen the videos, guys? We're going to look at the videos. He has a nub. It's the nub of Malice, I would say. The nub of Malice from this fellow that might have murdered somebody. Again, they're going to have to prove it in court. But, yeah, he's apparently one of the best. They tracked him. There's just a bunch of... He's pretty easy to track. It's pretty... It's not like they were tracking footprints. They were tracking, like, little shuffles on the ground. Why didn't the guy just try to get away from him? I'm horrible. But it's okay. It's okay. What's up, Sertorius? Who's seen the 80 movies Boxing Ramona? I don't think I've seen that movie. Maybe. Excuse me. But yes, that is some of the stuff we're going to talk about tonight. Like I said, probably going to be a little bit shorter show tonight than I usually do. We did go for like 5 hours and 20 minutes on Saturday. Thank you to everybody that showed up on Saturday, by the way. Always a damn good time for the Dozer Den DJ Hour. No fingerprints, that's right. No fingerprint. Nub prints. Nub prints. It's unsettling. There's a YouTube video of him using a weapon, and it's just... Not gonna lie, I feel like I need to go practice after watching that. I should be way more practiced and way more comfortable with my weapons after watching a quadruple amputee just fire away. I don't understand. I'm very confused. The headline's confusing. Everything's confusing. But it's all right. It's all right. Alrighty. So before we get into the topics, guys, I do have some things. Here's a little bit of an interaction between Mark Levin and Joe Kent. So Joe Kent left the administration as he was the counterterrorism task force lead or something like that. Joe Kent, he had some, disagreements with what was currently going on in Iran, which is fair. You can have those disagreements, 100%. And Mark Levin and him have been going back and forth on X, and they finally got to go and talk to each other. And interesting little minute clip here that we'll play. I might actually do a full listen through tomorrow and kind of respond to it. I don't know, but this is interesting, and it's telling to see what Mark Levin wants to shush or get away from.
And also, as Secretary Rubio said, there was no imminent threat coming from Iran against the Americans.
Well, he corrected.
There was an imminent threat coming.
Rubio said that we literally only got involved because Israel struck, and we knew that when Israel struck, that Iran was going to strike us. That is what happened. That is what Marco Rubio said.
From the Israelis who were going to attack. But that's actually...
Now, again, with the Iran thing, is this us cleaning up our mess that we made back in the late 70s? Probably, yeah. And has Trump been consistent on this messaging of wanting to bomb Iran for decades? Yeah, he has. But you can't ignore the other things that have been going on. There's more context that is appropriate to mention.
Okay, hold on. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it honestly, one point at a time.
Had observed, the Iranians had observed an escalation ladder. They hadn't attacked us under President Trump.
Can you do me a favor? And I don't mean to be rude. Can you talk a little more slowly?
The hell is he talking? Is it because he has trouble hearing? Because I understood everything that Joe Kent just said. I don't even have great headphones. What is Levin saying? You need to slow down? What, are you trying to be like passive aggressive right there, Levin?
Having trouble hearing. Take your time. Go ahead.
Sure. When President Trump came into office, the Iranians knew that President Trump wanted to get a deal. They observed the escalatory ladder very carefully. They stopped having our proxies attack us like they were attacking us under the Biden administration. And they got to the negotiating table with us about the nuclear agenda. When the 12-day war kicked off and the Israelis started that, the Iranians still didn't attack us.
All right. We have to take a break. I'm going to circle back on some of your comments here, and then I have some other questions. I appreciate you being here. We'll be right back with Joe Kent.
Odd timing to cut him off, but okay. Just saying, hey, I'm glad the conversation happened, because that right there just doesn't look good for Levin, in my opinion. Just doesn't. But, Levin is Levin. Here's a cool little clip before we get into it. This is just a bright moment in humanity. Could have been tragic, but ended up being positive. And God bless this skier. When you wipe out really hard in the middle of nowhere on a mountain, it's a good thing a skier might see your board hanging out.
Oh.
It's like his, near wipeout leads to something positive.
Whoa.
Went right over him.
Oh. You all right?
Hmm. Yeah, and as more information comes out, Paul McGroin, we'll see. If Joe Kent is proven to be a liar, then he absolutely needs to be held accountable for that. But some of the stuff that he was just saying in that discussion it's legit. And then just repeating what Rubio said. That's what it is. Now, do I think that it was the best approach to just dip out like Kent did? Probably not. If anything, you should have stuck in there and tried to rework things and tried to influence things in a positive way. But yeah, it's there's a lot of back and forth between big personalities on the internet right now, and we'll see, I suppose. I'll just say this: I don't watch Dan Bongino, never have, not really my flavor. But if you like it, I am not going to knock you for that at all. Everybody has their own preferences, and I just never watched him. I think it's mostly because the timing, because I work, my work schedule and stuff. But also, I mean, I don't know. Good tea.
Come on. Come on.
Like depending how long this snowboarder was stuck there, he could have freaking, he could have. I mean, this guy was probably close to death.
Hold on, I'm coming.
This guy almost died. 17 George on build. Oh yeah. Like his whole body is in the snow. He is just feet up out of there. Like you could, like I would think you could probably drown because you're breathing and the heat from your breath is melting the snow. I would think you could end up drowning just from that. Suffocation at least.
Hey, you all right? Can you hear me?
That's a lot of snow. God bless this skier. Think of the adrenaline pumping through his veins right now.
Come on. Come on, help me out. Help me out here. You okay? You all right? Okay, you're good. You're good, I got you. You okay? Can you breathe?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. We're both gonna catch our breath for a sec. I'm gonna help dig you out, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. You're good. Oh,
Yep, pulled McGroin.
still more snow with me, right?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, sweating is dangerous in those temperatures.
Okay, you all right?
You don't have proper
Okay. I'm gonna back up for a second.
wicking
Get my
fabric
shovel out, okay?
on your skin.
You're good, man. You're good. Holy. Oh.
What's up, salty old fart? Just Jim gifting the can over there on Pill. $2 donation. Thank you very, very much for that, Just Jim. I appreciate the heck out of you. Thank you so much for that support. Spreading the gold over there on pilled.net. It's good stuff. Very good stuff. Thanks for the red pill and the repost, too. Definitely appreciate that donation. We have dancing crabs. Paul McGroin, you ever do WAFA, Wilderness Advanced First Aid training? I was WAFA certified for a little bit. He's got a shovel, so he's pulling out a shovel to get him scooped out a little bit better, and then I think that's when he contacts somebody. You're fine. You're absolutely fine. Thank you for the perspective.
Okay. All right. Oh my God.
It's a good little shovel. Dig him
All
out.
right, how you doing? You good?
I'm good.
Okay, good. I'll get you out of here in a sec, okay?
You never know when something like this is going to happen, so
Yeah,
having some
dude.
basic training
You're good.
is really, really important. Especially when you're out doing stuff like that. If you're out on a mountain, you know, in the wilderness, in a spot where you never know. Like, something is a tip, traction into position, right? If you have a broken arm, like learning the way to do that appropriately, because, you know, and knowing the signs of like hypothermia, knowing the signs of like a ischemia or something like that, which is like the blood, you know, blood supply being cut off, and you can have, you know, tissue death and stuff like that. It was really, really cool. The wilderness advanced first aid training that I did. I used to have a patch and everything. I never actually put it on my pack, but I had the patch. You got to get certified in that. I think what was it? Was it every 2 or 3 years or 5 years? I think it might have been 2 or 3. It might have been 2 years. But even if you don't get recerted, you've got some of that basic knowledge. I've got one of the booklets from the dang course still. It was like 2 or 3 days worth of pretty intense training and high information. We did scenarios where like they had like, you know, we were working with, you know, kids, and there was like the, you know, bus pulled out into the woods, and you know, you had to go out there and you had multiple patients or multiple casualties or people that were hurt, and you had to, you know, triage and figure out what people were needing. So like, for instance, one of the things you covered in the course was the difference between a rescue inhaler and your daily inhaler. So like the Advair, the purple one, that's your daily one. You take as prescribed, as a scheduled one. Your rescue one, the red one, or the differently shaped, you know, you go up and you're doing your soap notes and all that stuff. It was really, really fun, really engaging course. And my guy it was the inhalers. And I'm like, first of all, I had asthma for a little bit. So I was like, I knew this. And, we go up and he's like, you know, gasping. I was like, all right, hey, do you feel any pain? You think? He's like, no. And then I was like, hey, do you have an inhaler? And he goes, yeah. And then starts to reach and he grabs out the Advair one. And I was like, no, where's your rescue inhaler? And then kind of smiles and he brings out the rescue inhaler. I was like, all right, good. And then he gets his breath. We start talking. I can do my little soap notes and everything. Just a really, really beneficial. If you ever get a chance to do it, it can be quite expensive if you're the one paying for it, from what I understand. But if you've got a job or something like that wants to pay for that, take advantage of that. Just for the experience. It's great. So yeah, learning how to survive is good stuff. You had to reset a dislocated shoulder on a person I didn't know. Fell climbing, landed bad. It came across him when I was hiking up a mountain. That's awesome, dude. I mean, it sucks that happened to the dude, but you know. Ask the Somali pirates. Oh no. Hey, thanks for the silence. We told you to start going in. Thanks for the follow, Will Day over there on Pilled. Appreciate you. Guys, you should check out my Pilled, and if you don't have a Pilled account yet, takes a couple minutes to create one. Really cool live chat over there. A lot of updates, but interesting platform. I think Rumble could learn some things from what they're doing. Really, really, I don't know if Rumble's live chat could handle like all the GIFs and memes though. There's some Pill chat gets wild. I'll say that. But I appreciate everybody watching wherever you may be watching. Let's see. Oh, we're 30 minutes in. You guys want to go ahead and get into the first topic? Supreme Court stuff, guys. Sorry. The Supreme Court heard oral arguments today. And it seems like the conservative justices are kind of not liking this idea of mail-in ballots being accepted for weeks after Election Day, right? Election Day is kind of an important thing. Now, I don't think they're looking at like absentee ballots for like soldiers and stuff like that. That's not what they're looking at. They're looking at the rampant, excessive use of mail-in ballots. And it seems like the conservative justices, the quote-unquote conservative, because some of them are pretty squishy, are not liking this idea. Gorsuch had a very, very good back and forth with Mississippi's SG. I thought it was an attorney general. his contradiction in like their defense of accepting mail-in ballots after election day. Let's take a listen to that really quick, and then we'll probably look at the article that I've got pulled up. By the way, links to the articles are in the description if you want to digest them a little bit more fully, more than what I kind of go over quickly during the show. Let's take a listen to this grilling.
Problem. And before I get to that, throughout your brief, you say that that the federal statute does require voters to submit their ballots to election officials on election day. Must be cast.
Oh yeah, Laura
by
Blades, you're
election day,
a beast.
and that the
job
election
saving
day is the
somebody's
day
life.
to conclude and consummate the election through a final selection.
Beast was a good thing.
You agree with all those statements in your brief?
Yes.
Okay. But at the same time, you say actually it doesn't have to be submitted to an election.
That right there, make election day a holiday. I agree with that 110%. Absolutely should be.
Election official, it just has to be submitted to a common carrier. And there's a contradiction there that I just want you to first address, and then I'll give you my hypothetical.
Very good, Your Honor.
Sartorius.
I think when you put something in the mail, you're not, I think.
Solicitor General.
That's not an election official. FedEx isn't an election official.
Right, but the recipient certainly is the person who you're
Yeah, but come on now. I love Gorsuch just nailing this guy.
submitting it in the mail to. I mean, that is the
Sure, of
recipient.
course.
And, right, Your Honor. And I think.
You submit it to FedEx and they deliver it to the election official. But you say it has to be submitted to an election official throughout your brief, but then you say a common carrier is okay. And those two things don't add up.
Well, I think the difference is, say, sending it to your brother versus sending it to the registrar.
Well, we already dealt with that. The brother turns out to be okay, so long as the state says so.
I think that's okay on their view, Your Honor.
It's also
I'm a
okay.
little more guarded on that.
Well, I think you already answered that one. So here's the hypo. Let's say you have a state where a large portion of the electorate mails in their ballots on or close to election day. Not far-fetched. Many states are like that. Then the day after the election, a story breaks that one of the lead candidates engaged in an inappropriate sexual escapade, or perhaps is concluding with a foreign power. Again, not far-fetched, I think. And the competing candidate immediately goes on the airwaves and urges voters to recall their ballots and to tell the common carriers not to deliver them. And many common carriers will do that with anything that you send through them. FedEx, you just call them up and say, I want it back. In that hypothetical, did the election happen on election day? Oh, by the way, it swings the election.
So the election did happen on Election Day, Justice Gorsuch. As we've explained, our ballot does not allow using mail recall, anything like that. When somebody submits their ballot by mail.
Just first deal with my hypothetical, and then I'll deal with your statute.
Okay, the election.
I love how they're throwing, deal with my hypothetical first, and then we'll deal with your statute. I love his demeanor.
Happened on Election Day.
Even though it changes the outcome.
I mean, I think.
Yes, it has to be your answer, doesn't it?
I mean, yes, Your Honor. I'm just, I want
This dude is stammering so bad because he knows Gorsuch has nailed him so hard to the wall on this.
to be clear about
All right.
you're not agreeing that the outcome can be properly changed in that circumstance.
Well, hold on. It did in my hypothetical. You can't change my hypothetical, counsel.
And I'm just saying it's unlawful, Your Honor. I don't mean to disparage your
unlawful?
hypothetical. I'm just saying that it's an unlawful circumstance because we don't allow ballot.
Oh, in Mississippi. Okay, but that hypothetical could happen in another state, right?
I think if the state is not providing that on mailing there's a final choice made, I think that would be a problem with that law under the federal statutes.
Now you say your statute, you're different. You admit my hypothetical could happen, but you say it can't happen in Mississippi because recall's not allowed. I couldn't find that anywhere in Mississippi law.
Uh-oh.
In fact, what I did see was a statute that says that the Secretary of State can promulgate rules and regulations. That's 23-15-637-3. And then I went and looked at the regulations. And Rule 2.1
he got some sass in there. Look at the regulations.
says that an absentee ballot is the final vote of a voter when the ballot is marked accepted. That doesn't preclude recall.
And
In fact, that allows recall.
I respectfully don't agree with that, Your Honor. I mean,
Where does it say recall's not permitted? I couldn't find that anywhere in your statutes or the rule.
and I think by providing that ballots are final when cast under our statute.
No, it doesn't. It
itself,
says they're final when marked accepted.
that's the regulation, Your Honor.
Yeah.
And
It's your regulation.
Yeah,
And it
Mississippi
allows
is not doing
recall.
well.
It does. Respectfully, it does not allow recall, Your Honor. The
Show
ballot
me
is
where,
final cast.
would you read to me the provision that precludes it?
It's subsection 3 of the statute that my friends have
I
found.
read you said subsection 3 that says the Secretary of State can make rules. And then I read you the rule.
To ensure that the ballots are final when cast. The key
But the
thing
rule
is ballots
said-
are final when cast.
It says, no, votes promulgated by an absentee ballot, that the person's absentee vote is final. You can make rules about when they're final.
100%,
And what the
Laura.
rule says is it is final when marked accepted.
And that's, I mean, it's speaking to a processing rule about what to do when somebody's, when somebody's ballot potentially doesn't arrive on time, they submit an affidavit ballot. But I would come back to the text of the statute, Your Honor. I mean, final when cast is what our law.
Mr. Stewart,
That was that was pretty rough. That was pretty rough when the Supreme Court justice is quoting your own state's statute and regulations to you and making you look like a bit of an idiot. That was painful, and he knew he was so screwed as that interaction was developing. Like Gorsuch just wove an intricate little web for him and just trapped him like a nasty little fly. It was beautiful. Beautiful. No legs to stand on and not a hand in the game. That's right. That's right, CW. That was good. That was good. That is some good stuff. Let's get into a piece from the Gateway Pundit. Very, very biased, but still entertaining to read sometimes. I typically will pick articles that are a little bit against my perspective just because I like to sharpen my focus and sharpen my arguments. And I think it's good to, it's fun to critique the hell out of a biased article. So, yeah, let's look at this here. Alito had a moment as well. The U.S. Supreme Court on... Oh, by the way, this is by Christina Layla from the Gateway Pundit, March 23rd. The U.S. Supreme Court on Monday is hearing oral arguments on a challenge to mail-in ballots. The lawsuit challenging the mail-in ballots was filed by the Republican National Committee and the Libertarian Party of Mississippi. Look at that. They're working together. Conservative Justice Samuel Alito blasted the endless counting of mail-in ballots. We have lots of phrases that involve two words, the second of which is day. Labor Day, Memorial Day, George Washington's birthday, Independence Day, birthday, and Election Day, Alito said. Beautiful. They are all particular days. So if we start with that, if we have nothing more to look at than the phrase Election Day, I think this is the day in which everything is going to take place, Alito added. Let's go ahead and listen to the audio here real quick, because that is on point.
We have lots of phrases that involve two words, the second of which is day. Labor Day, Memorial Day, George Washington's birthday, Independence Day, birthday, and Election Day. And they're all particular days. So if we start with that, if I have nothing more to look at than the phrase Election Day, I think this is the day in which everything is going to take place, or almost everything. And then we have 3 points in time, 1844, 1872, 1914. And we can ask, what would people have thought on those days is meant by this phrase, Election Day? Which of those should we choose? Which of those dates should we choose?
Well, I think you could choose any of the three. I mean, honestly, I think the single best one, if you're just going to choose one, is 1872. And the reason I say that is because 1914 is the latest in time, but that's the one that Congress gave the least thought to.
There you go. No, we're not going to the next one. Stop that. The other justices appeared skeptical during the oral arguments. Chief Justice John Roberts and Justice Amy Coney Barrett, meanwhile, each asked questions indicating they were concerned about how a decision invalidating the deadlines for late arriving ballots could affect other election rules, including those allowing for early voting. The RNC and the Trump administration have argued that under the federal statutes, getting a uniform day for the elections for president and Congress, Election Day is the day the ballot box closes, CBS News reported. The Supreme Court will likely issue a ruling in June. More on this from the Associated Press. We're about to go to the Associated Press, so let's just cap that and get rid of that. Go to the Associated Press article. Yeah, it's not election cycle. It's supposed to be election day. I agree. It depends. Yeah, if they just keep getting in the fake ballots, yeah. Election season. Election season. That's what it is. Not election day. It's an election vacation. I will say, I think that they do need to make Election Day a holiday. This is from the AP. Supreme Court sounds skeptical of late arriving ballots. A Trump target. Oh, we have to phrase it that way, don't we, AP? Don't we, AP? Why can't you just report? Just report. Stop it. Stop it. You would think that, election integrity, making sure that the processes are legit, you think that would be everybody's goal, right? You would think so, but no. No. What's up, Half Pine Forge Live? Good to see you. Brian Johnson's voice. Have a like on me. There you go. I appreciate that. Thank you for the like. Don't forget to smash that like button, share this stream out, comment, repost, all those good things. Let's do a quick check of the reposts and the comments really quick, because I do appreciate those that do that very, very free way of supporting this channel. Let's see what we got here. Pull McGroin with a repost, Selva Sojourn with a repost as well. Thank you very much for that, guys. Appreciate you. What's up, Salty Zipper Tits? Good to see you. With the That's right. Repost this stream, guys. Oh. Why do I have a timer set? I did not set a timer. Who did that? Apparently my wrist did that. I don't know. Just a moment here. All right, so let's get into this article from the AP. The Supreme Court's conservative majority on Monday sounded skeptical of state laws that allow the counting of late-arriving mail ballots. A persistent target of President Donald Trump. Should be everybody's, right? Thanks, Salty Zipperdits, for that repost. That was a little more Owen Wilson than and a little less Brian Johnson. But to be fair, Brian Johnson's kind of hard to imitate quietly. Yeah, I tried. All right. Okay, a ruling likely to come by late June that bars counting ballots arriving after Election Day would send officials scrambling in 14 states and the District of Columbia, gay District of Columbia, just a few months before the 2026 midterm congressional elections to change their ballot rules. Just do it. You've got time. You've got months. Stop acting like you can't get anything. Okay, where's Steve Harvey? Damn it! CW, I forgot about Steve Harvey. I will try to add Steve Harvey back at some point. Maybe later. We'll see. An additional 15 states that have more forgiving deadlines for ballots from military and overseas voters also could be affected. I don't think they're going after that. And that is, I think, irresponsible reporting from the AP, in my opinion. The legal challenge is part of Trump's broader attack on most mail balloting. Most mail balloting shouldn't be allowed. It should be, literally, if you are unable to get to the poll because of like a disability or something like that, military service, or I guess expats. That's pretty much the three. Other than that, get your ass to the poll. And I actually kind of went back and forth for a second with my stepdad. My stepdad is 80. He's going to be 85 in October this year, or November, excuse me, 85. And I was talking to him about it, and I'm like, well, if you maybe for the elderly or something like that, they can't get out. And he said, this is how he talks. He goes, God damn it. He said, I get my ass in the car and I get to the ballot box. They can too. I said, all right, Orville, you're right. he said, hey, if you can get there, get there. Go vote in person. Yeah, I think we need to definitely get a little bit more. We need to reel this in just a tad. Yeah, they never report the whole truth. They don't. Said, which he said breeds fraud despite strong evidence to the contrary and years of experience in numerous states. I hate the way they write this shit. It's like they say, he stated without evidence. Just because you didn't actually look at the evidence or you discounted the evidence doesn't mean that it's not evidence, you fucking assholes. This is why the media, and I'm going to stop saying corporate media. Media in general, fucking gay. Gay and lame. What's up, Uncle Cracker? Good to see you. I hate how they phrase shit like this, because to the uneducated or the unsophisticated individual that reads that, they're going to be like, oh, wow, that sounds like good. Which he said breeds fraud despite strong evidence to the contrary and years of experience in numerous states. Doesn't count. Trump has repeatedly claimed that his loss to Joe Biden in 2020 resulted from fraud, even though more than 60 court decisions and his own attorney general said that the argument had no merit. Oh my God. Somebody sue them. Somebody should sue the fuck out of them for this. That is incorrect. That is so incorrect. A lot of those ones that were actually dismissed, a lot of the cases that were dismissed actually The judges went ahead and admitted that, yes, they did have merit. There was merit to a lot of the claims. These assholes will absolutely continue to do this forever. They will forever do this because nobody's actually going to look into it. Like, people like you or I might actually look into this because we have, brains. We have the ability to think, to use cognition effectively, to look into things a little bit more skeptically, a little bit more fully. No, a lot of the ones that were dismissed were on bullshit grounds of latches, mootness, or standing. Because a lot of judges are pussies and don't want to actually handle an election integrity case, don't want to actually address these election laws because there's not much precedent for it when they are challenged. But they should be challenged more frequently. There is a process for it, and anybody that says there isn't doesn't know their fucking history. There is a process. It's just when judges are pussies, you can't really get much done. This needs to happen more frequently. This needs to be fleshed out more fully, and the AP needs to stop lying. That would be great if the AP could stop lying, right? That'd be nice. There was a bit of a rant for you. Been a minute since we broke out the rant meter. Just how they say, Trump falsely states you don't need to put that qualifier because he made a statement he believes is true. Yeah, Trump falsely claims. Exactly. It's so dumb. The qualifiers are gay. So fucking gay. All right. Or they say two different things, but somehow attempt to link it together so the low IQ mouth breathers eat it up. And people that just post articles without actually reading the articles bother me too. What'd you miss? Well, you missed a rant. There's a little bit of a rant. Like a minute or so ago. We're talking about the AP being assholes. It's the asshole publication. Yes, AP. The court heard arguments in a case from Mississippi pitting the state against Trump's Republican administration and the Republican and Libertarian parties. At issue is whether federal law sets a single election day that requires ballots to be both cast by voters and received by state officials. While there was no explicit reference to the 2020 election, several conservative justices gave voice to some of Trump's complaints. Justice Samuel Alito wondered about the appearance of fraud in situations where a big stash of ballots that arrived late radically flipped an election. Just convenient that they'll just keep counting, right? Defending the state law, Mississippi Solicitor General Scott Stewart pointed out that the Trump administration and its allies in the case have yet to submit a single case of fraud due to late arriving mail-in. It's been 6 years. Mail-in ballots. The court's liberal justices indicated they would uphold state laws with post-election and day deadlines. And this is what bothers me about the Supreme Court. I know they say they're supposed to be apolitical. They're inherently not because they're nominated by a party, so they're going to AP asspucker maybe. It's just damn. You like rants? I think you can rewind it. Is it DVR? Yeah, I think you can rewind it. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Can we get rid of all the stupid? There's so many stupid judges. There's so many stupid judges. Oh shoot! I'm so sorry, Laura Blades. If you're having children, maybe I'll give a warning that there's a rant coming. My apologies. Dang it. Those are spicy words. Spicy words. Let's see. The people who should decide this issue are not the courts, but the Congress. The states and Congress. But Congress, the states and Congress. That is redundant. Why did you do that? It's Sonia Sotomayor. Never mind. That's why. Forcing states to change their practices just a few months before the election risks confusion and disenfranchisement. Disagree. Especially in places that have had relaxed deadlines for years. That statement in itself! Relaxed deadlines! No! Why? State and big city elections officials told the court in a written filing. California, Texas, New York, and Illinois are among the states with post-election day deadlines. Alaska, with its vast distances and often unpredictable weather, also counts late-arriving ballots. Alaska needs to get its stuff together. I used to think that maybe ranked choice voting might be a good idea. After looking into it and seeing what happens, no, that's a bad idea. That ends up just being worse for everybody, because nobody's happy. Alaska elections officials said Monday they're preparing for the fall elections under existing law. If a ruling requires operational changes, we will work through those in coordination with the appropriate state entities to ensure compliance and to provide clear information to voters, the Alaska Division of Elections said in a statement. So ballot return deadlines, look at that. By election day, green, Missouri. There we go. Wow, Nevada, California, Oregon, Washington, Alaska, Texas. What's LA? before Election Day. The mail-in ballots. Okay. Absentee or mail-in. But the overseas... Could click on that. Overseas... Okay, so this is a little bit more... Overseas or military. A little bit more understandable. Like, yeah, there's going to be more states that'll allow that to come in a little bit later because there's logistics, right? Logistics. Yeah, that's the problem with Alaska is the ranked choice voting. Yeah. And I there for a while, I thought that might be a good idea. And after looking into it, no. Ranked choice is just not good. You would think, like, ideally, like, from an outside perspective, thinking about it, like, it's like, well, that kind of sounds good. Then you actually look at it in practice, and it's just a bunch of a cluster muck. That's cool that they have both those there. Lawyers for the Republican and Libertarian parties, as well as Trump's administration, are asking justices to affirm an appellate ruling that struck down a Mississippi law allowing ballots to be counted if they arrive within 5 business days of the election and are postmarked by Election Day. Paul Clement, representing the political parties, played on fears of fraud by invoking Democrat-dominated Chicago, infamous for election shenanigans. Voting ends at 8 p.m. in Chicago, Clement said, but the state law allows ballots postmarked by Election Day to be received later. A voter paying close attention to the election returns could, in theory, try to swing the election by submitting a mail-in ballot to the post office after the polls were closed, he said. I'm not here to say there could ever be voting fraud in Chicago, Clement said to laughter in the courtroom. Sotomayor had earlier needled Clement that under the ruling he sought, the Bush v. Gore decision that decided the 2000 election in favor of Republican George W. Bush would have come out differently because military ballots that broke heavily for Bush in his 537-vote win wouldn't have been counted. Clement disputed the point. The justice, because that's the thing, there's a distinction between rampant mail-in, just broad mail-in ballots, and the absentee for like military. There's a difference. Ridiculous. The justices seem more concerned about the cascading problems that could arise no matter who wins the case. Ballots could be received until the start of the next Congress, 2 months after the election, if a state wanted, Justice Neil Gorsuch suggested. On the other side, Justice Elena Kagan said the logic of the challenge to late arriving ballots also would be used to rule out early voting and absentee ballots. No. That's a slippery slope fallacy. Gosh darn it. Call it out. Limits on early voting also seem to bother Chief Justice John Roberts, of course, who seemed the conservative member of the court most likely to side with Mississippi along with Justice Amy Coney Barrett. Of course he is. He's lefty. The court also grappled with whether state laws allowing for late arriving ballots from military and overseas ballots could survive. Last year, Trump signed an executive order on elections that aims to require votes to be cast and received by Election Day. The order has been blocked in pending court challenges. I don't think fairly sure that probably has an exception for military. At the same time, 4 Republican-dominated states, Ohio, Kansas, North Dakota, and Utah, eliminated grace periods last year, according to the National Conference of State Legislators and Voting Rights Lab. In striking down Mississippi's grace period, Judge Andrew Oldham of the Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals wrote that the state law allowing the late arriving ballots to be counted violated federal law. Oldham and the other 2 judges who joined the unanimous ruling, James Ho and Stuart Kyle Duncan, all were appointed by Trump during his first term. This is Mark Sherman on this piece here. Well, there you go. The AP going to be gay in their presentation of information, but yeah, that was interesting. Very interesting on their part. Not a big fan of how they presented some of that information. And that's dirty stuff. Just be objective. Just be objective. I don't understand why it is so hard whenever you're presenting information to just report the facts and stop with the spin. There's so much spin with these publications that it just gets annoying. Downright annoying. I haven't done an ad read in a while. Should I do an ad read for 19 cents, guys? AIM controllers. Oh, Blackout Cop. Rumble Wallet. Look at that. For 57 cents. Ah, let's do it. Let's do an ad read. Why not? I haven't done one in a while. Like a month. Never mind. Fuck you, Rumble. I was going to do one, but apparently I can't. Well, wait. Maybe it'll let me do it now. Let's try. Hey, there we go. Look at that. Guys, they can freeze your accounts, shut off your cards, lock you out of your own money overnight. Banks don't protect you. They control you. That's why real financial freedom starts with ownership. Introducing Rumble Wallet, a non-custodial wallet built for people who refuse to give up control. With Rumble Wallet, you don't just buy digital currency like Bitcoin and Tether. You can own Tether Gold, real gold, on the blockchain. Through Tether Gold, you get direct ownership of physical gold bars, each one fully allocated, verifiable by serial number, purity, and weight. This isn't proper gold. This isn't paper gold. This isn't an IOU. This is real gold without bank vaults, storage fees, or gatekeepers. My gosh. You can buy, sell, or move it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even when traditional gold markets are closed. And if you want, Tether Gold can be redeemed for physical gold. That's power. Unlimited power. And when you support creators on Rumble, you can tip them directly using Rumble Wallet, peer-to-peer, and outside the banking system, and outside the live stream. That's right, you can tip at any time. That little green tip button. No permissions, no middleman, no cancel button. This wallet is yours forever. Rumble Wallet, guys. It's a thing. Oh. They heard talking about. Oh no. We did the live read. A little bit of a stumble there. It's been a minute since I did an ad read, but it's all right. It's all right, guys. There's been a lot of UFOs going on. A lot of UFOs showing up in the sky. A lot of meteorites or whatever stuff that people aren't sure of. TR3B maybe, I don't know. This is in Miami.
Hey, look. Y'all thought I was playing. I know y'all see those lights. Look at them. Not the little.
That's legit TR3B. That's a TR3B right there. What the hell? That's beautiful. Exceptional. Triangle. Point.
Ones because my little.
1, 2, 3. That is. What do you do about that? We need Entropy Nomad. Where's Entropy Nomad for the TR3B comment?
Mirror thing scratched up. I know you see them right there, floating. Oh, bruh, this every day out here or every night. You see it?
He said this every day. I mean, every night.
Dude, look at that. Bruh, this really in Miami. I'm not playing. Look, the airport is right over here. That's the airport. You know what I mean? They always got little lights and stuff. You know, it's probably airplanes. But over here, this ain't the airport. Look at that. Nope. And them clouds not even moving.
All right, I pretty much did it. Looks like a paraglider, or whatever you call them, singlant. I've never seen a paraglider do that.
How the whole cloud not gonna move? It's just sitting there at nighttime. It's crazy. Look.
I mean, maybe there's no wind.
Ain't no other clouds in the sky. But right over here, look at them. All right, look.
He's saying they had a smoke screen, too. I don't know. Unless it does something to defy physics, it's just a drone. It might be. But the TR-3B, that is a military craft. So, yeah. Oh, no. Had to throw it out there. Guys. This is going to tie into our last story. Disabled individuals. Disabled individuals in comedy. This is a good back and forth. Mute comedian. Pretty hilarious. Love his stuff.
Wheelchair guy, can you talk? I guess not. Hey. It took you that long to say, hey. Now say supercalifragilistic. Hey man, I need a lot of work. Can you recommend me to your plastic surgeon?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't like when you get a good one because I love your laugh. It sounds like somebody's scooting a desk across some hardwood. Funny and handsome. I'd say you're a drool threat.
I don't think it's a plastic surgeon.
Is that panties?
Whoa.
Aaron, before the show, you asked if I was going to be mean or nice. Does that mean you had something queued up, you little nasty motherfucker? Chain's fat. It'd be devastating.
Shane, you were actually my biggest inspiration as a comedian right up until I found out you weren't really retarded.
I got to be honest. I've always wanted to see what Tony Hinchcliffe would look like with polio.
You son of a bitch.
I've always wanted to meet a white black guy.
This guy guy's a bully. Fuck.
I told him last week you can really tell which arm they put the vaccine in.
Tony has been taking hormone treatments to have the figure of a female tennis player.
That is true. That's actually true.
What happened to your finger? You still have like 3/4 of it. Quit looking for sympathy. I bet you have a handicap placard for a missing finger. You piece of shit. Do you?
Yeah, he does. Absolutely, he does.
Is this your first time in America on a New Year's Eve? What do you guys normally do in Canada for New Year's Eve?
You don't have a Canadian accent. I didn't know you were from Canada.
You son of an Australian bitch.
I've been nothing but good to you. Let me tell you, you've got more talent in your thumb than you've got in the rest of your body.
Hold on, Aaron, before the show, you asked if I was going to be mean or nice. Does that mean you had something queued up, you little nasty scrolling?
Oh, Jesus.
Look at you scrolling. Don't make me be mean, dude. I don't want to be mean.
Let's see if you're mean.
All right, well.
Push him.
Yeah.
Hey, over there, what's your disability?
My mom drugged me to keep me in vegetable.
Your mom drugs you.
Yes.
What does she drug you with? That's not cool.
Meth.
Why do you give your son meth, ma'am?
Keep me quiet.
Anyway, I'm going to move on before we all get arrested.
Look at him helping me. That's cute. Yeah.
I'm such a good caretaker. How's your diaper?
The only comedian I can talk faster than.
I still talk better, though.
I don't drool on myself.
You look like a lesbian.
Savage. Savage. People with disabilities sniping at each other. There you go. On to the next story, guys. Speaking of people with disabilities, so Brian Cole, I think it's Brian Cole, is the one that the FBI has labeled as the J6 Pipebomber. The one that's suspected, anyways. Steve Baker with the Blaze, has some disagreement with that, and has come out with a new article, because there was the gait analysis months ago, right before they decided to peg this Brian Cole guy, this guy with autism, relatively high-functioning autism. They decided to peg him with it, and he admitted to it, from what I understand. But the evidence might not necessarily add up. Now, the gait analysis, you can kind of, have your quarrel with that if you like, but there's more. There's more physical presence in general, posture, mannerisms. It looks like they prefer hard words. Exactly, Sangland. This is from Steve Baker with the Blaze, coming out with a new piece here. Chick reminds me of a comic dude. I can't think of it either. She's hilarious, though. She's funny. Watching them go back and forth is great. From Blaze Media, Brian Cole Jr.'s physical presence, posture, mannerisms are no match to FBI's hoodie-clad pipe bomb suspect. Yeah, they do look a little bit different. Like, they don't look like they're the same person. I know a hoodie can do a lot, but they don't look like they're the same person. They just don't. This is by Joseph M. Henneman and Steve Baker. Video analysis shows stark physical differences between Cole and the FBI's original unknown subject in bomb case. Despite his reported confession to placing explosive devices at 2 sites on Capitol Hill on January 5th, 2021, Brian Cole Jr.'s physical dimensions, gait, posture, and mannerisms are at stark odds with video clips of the hoodie-clad bomb suspect first released by the FBI more than 5 years ago. A full analysis of the hoodie-wearing suspect has been complicated by poor video quality, a manipulated video frame rate, literally they did that, black and white images, and cropping of some of the original footage. A careful viewing of the substandard video, however, still reveals clues that don't quite fit the allegations that Cole is the bomber, or attempted bomber, rather. 2 eyewitnesses described the gray hoodie suspect as a white male. That soccer-playing chick that got promoted to the CIA after being a Capitol police officer for a while. That was interesting. What's up, Mike Mitchell Den over there on pill.net? Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. And for the red pill. Very much appreciated. So, Blaze News analyzed a video of the hoodie suspect released by the FBI, photographs and video of Cole, and evidence culled from independent investigations. This analysis indicates stark physical differences between Cole and the hoodie suspect, including the manner of walking, body shape and features, eyesight, shoe size, neck length, and mannerisms. Cole dude does have a long neck. That is something that's going on there. Oh, the slow talking stoner. I'm trying to figure out who you're talking about. Was the white lesbo? Yeah, probably. Cole, 31 of Woodbridge, Virginia, won't be back in U.S. District Court in Washington, D.C. until April 21st for a status hearing on the two explosives-related felony charges that have kept him behind bars since his December 4th arrest. He awaits a ruling from the U.S. Court of Appeals on his challenge to the detention order that is keeping him behind bars until trial. Yeah, look, I mean, dude's got a long neck. It's true. You can tell. The FBI says that after 2 hours denying involvement in the Pipebomber case, he's an autistic individual that they interrogated for 2 hours, then he eventually just admitted to it. If this is going to... Careers are... If they find out, if they do end up coming out with the, him not being the guy, people should lose their jobs. People should probably be prosecuted if it comes out that he gave this confession under duress. Ridiculous. Good Lord. So his defense team, however, retorted... Oh, sorry. So the FBI said after 2 hours denying involvement in the Pipebomb case, Cole suddenly gave a detailed confession during a December 4th interrogation. His defense team, however, reported in an appeals court filing seeking his release from custody that their client contests each of the government's factual claims. Huh. Interesting. The hoodie-clad suspect went to some length to conceal identity, including a COVID-style face mask and a ball cap, but tools, including forensic podiatry and gait analysis, can shed valuable light on the investigation. One of the most glaring conflicts in the case is an eyewitness who describes the hoodie suspect as being a white male. Cole is black, as we could tell, as we could say that. Black dude didn't commit suicide. He's not dead yet. I hope not. At a January hearing of the U.S. House Select Subcommittee on the remaining questions surrounding January 6th, Chairman Barry Loudermilk said information received from the FBI leaves key questions unanswered. There are still critical details regarding this case that must be understood, Loudermilk said at the opening of the first and only hearing since the subcommittee was impaneled in September 2025. The FBI operational updates note 2 eyewitnesses who described the gray hoodie suspect as a white male. Did this influence the FBI's investigation? Blaze News examined the charges against Cole to see if his arrest and prosecution fit with the case history and facts developed by independent investigators. The list of conflicts, problems, contradictions, and lingering questions is extensive and growing. This is part 3 of our series. Part 1 was published January 16th. Part 2 was published February 6th. Yep, Laura Blades, that is what I'm thinking happened. Being autistic, he probably reached his limit and said whatever would make it stop. And giving a very detailed explanation of it could also be a bit of an info dump. Could be from what they were saying, if they had been saying, kind of leading him with that before. Yeah. I'm thinking this is not a good look. Not a good look. Just Jim, I responded to your sticker there. Loudermilk is a good show also. Yeah. Let's see. So, autism disclosure, a game changer. Among the most telling clues... By the way, the people that actually know this guy, this Brian Cole guy, he's very, very meticulous, very routine, which is common with people with autism. They have a routine. They usually stick to it. They do not like diverting from it. And it can usually screw their whole... Like, the fact that this guy was barely able to talk to the damn cops in his arrest video, if you guys ever... I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. We might look it up here in a minute. Like, his mannerisms... He has a tick. He has a tick every now and then where he goes like this, like his head leans back. And, like, the video of this person that's dropping these duffel bags with pipe bombs, quote-unquote, in them underneath the benches, does not do that tick once. And one would think that an individual with autism that has an involuntary tick that is due to stress... in doing an act like that would probably be stimming, right? One would think. if you know anything about people with autism, one would think that would be a triggering event that might make them stim a little bit more. Just saying. This is sad if they've got this guy in jail and he's like I hope more information comes out, and we'll see, I suppose. But let's get more into it. Among the most telling clues offered in Cole's defense was the disclosure by his attorneys that he's afflicted with autism spectrum disorder and obsessive compulsive disorder. Each condition manifests in unique ways that can aid in identifying an individual on video. Thanks, Chops, for the red pill in the repost over there, and WS Hawks fan. Each condition manifests in unique ways that can aid in identifying an individual on video or explain seemingly odd behaviors like wiping a cell phone back to factory settings more than 940 times over a 3-year period, as Cole did. He probably might have been looking up a lot of porn, too. Just because you're autistic doesn't mean you don't look at dirty images. Back to factory settings? Damn, dude. Jurgli Hansar, a London-based expert in gait analysis, says the human body betrays itself, providing clues even if a person is trying to disguise identity. Your body is a snitch. Snitches get stitches. Hansar wrote in a recent Substack column, "Before a single word is spoken, bodies have already decided what they want," wrote Hansar, an expert in biometric identification using digital tools. The dilation of a pupil, a micro-adjustment of posture, involuntary synchrony of breath are signals no sensitivity training can rewrite. Thank you so much, Just Jim, for that 113 gold pills. Guys, it's just palindrome time. Paljimdrome time. Nice. If that was over here on Rumble, that would probably be a blue Rumble rant. And if the chat goes blue, you know what we must do. We must play one of the blue sounds. Let's play Piper Alley. That little heel kick at the end does it for me. You can tell she's having a good time. That's what makes it great. Snitches can save... You mean stitches can save many people? I mean, snitches too, I guess, maybe. The purported Oklahoma... Well, there's a lot with the Oklahoma City bombing. Yeah. Thanks, Just Jim. Yeah, I doubt Brian Cole's the kid. I doubt this is the guy. And when this goes to trial, I really hope that if he is innocent, it's proven so. Because the thing is, you're innocent until proven guilty. The fact that so many people just latched on and they're like, yeah, we got him. This is the guy for sure. You don't know that. And I mean, it could come out that he is absolutely the guy. But from what I've seen, I kind of doubt it. But yeah. So Brian Cole Jr. versus hoodie-clad bombing suspect, a study in contrast. There's him walking, doing his thing, and then there's this person with a shorter neck. I mean, there's a hood there, but like his torso, Brian Cole's torso is longer. Like, yeah, that doesn't look like the same person to me. It just doesn't. So Brian Cole Jr.'s feet face out while walking, so like kind of like the duck walk, kind of. The hoodie-clad pipe bomb suspect, right, has inward-facing feet that cross over. Probably a female. Probably a very, very butch female. Just saying. And you don't want snitches? No, definitely. Snitches. Those snitches could save people. Tyler Robinson's also... yes, he is. You're right. Tyler Robinson is also innocent until proven guilty. Very true. Gotta go through the court case. Now, I mean, all the evidence kind of looks like it's probably him, but, it needs to go to trial. The whole thing needs to go out before we say, yes, for sure, it's the guy. I don't think this Brian Cole dude is the guy. I think it was probably that, lady. The one that played soccer. I forgot her name. Okay, so outward foot angle, head, body lean left for Cole, torso leans forward. 5'6", feet appear disproportionately large, got big feet, short dude. He's a hobbit. Person over to the right, the one on actual video, steps crossover, straight trunk, 5'7". And yeah, that's a pretty decent comparison there. Brian Cole's gait leans forward and protrudes at the rear. The hoodie suspect feet face in with irregular crossovers. The crossing over also would, I think, be indicative of maybe a female. Guy's going to have a little bit wider gait with the steps. So, snitches are good. I mean, depending on the snitch. The FBI CIA girl is more likely. I 100% agree with you, Jim. I 100% agree with you on that. Just makes more sense. This one is a stretch. The other one just fits better. And then the whole, promotion to the CIA after being with the Capitol Police officers after this. Just really just a coincidence, guys. Just randomness. Random shift over to the CIA. Just random. Don't ask questions. Keep that foil hat in your drawer, darn it. Let's see. We are uncomfortable with movement-based intelligence, probably because it exposes the primal reality of our hierarchies, he wrote. The body does not care about political correctness. It communicates a truth your lawyer would advise you to bury. Cole's comportment and physical presence differ in many ways from the hoodie-clad suspect, from eyesight to manner of walking. Cole does exhibit traits and mannerisms, however, that are consistent with those identified in research as common to individuals with autism spectrum disorder. A defense expert in the case provided an affidavit to the court in January stating that Cole suffers from autism and obsessive-compulsive disorder. Criminals cannot hide their gait. According to the American Psychiatric Association, autism is a highly diverse neurodevelopmental disorder that manifests as persistent social impairment, communication abnormalities, and restricted and repetitive behaviors. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the prevalence of autism among children age 8 rose from 1 in 150 in the year 2000 to 1 in 31 in 2022. The abnormalities found in autistic individuals were documented as far back as 1943 in a pioneering study by psychiatrist Dr. Leo Kanner, who profiled 11 children who displayed a powerful desire for aloneness and sameness. Kanner noted some of the children he profiled were somewhat clumsy in gait and gross motor performances. Cole observed on body camera. There's ample video of the hoodie suspect on Capitol Police security cameras to use for comparisons. Police video of Cole at the scene of a 2024 Virginia traffic accident provides valuable clues about his physical demeanor that can be contrasted with the original suspect, a Blaze News analysis showed. The 48-minute body cam video obtained by the Blaze under a Freedom of Information Act request shows Cole interacting with a Prince William County Police Department officer and another driver. Cole's vehicle rear-ended a pickup truck owned by a local church. The video has short segments that show Cole walking and standing. The video shows that Cole walks with an outward foot angle, a stance sometimes referred to as the duck walk. See, look at that. I just said that. I didn't even read this. Yet. Let's see. Just Jim with another $2. Thank you very, very much for that. Just Jim gifted the can. $5.15. Appreciate that. Appreciate that support, man. Thank you very much. Let's see. If it was over here, see, what I would like to say really quick. So that $2 donation, the can, when it's over in Rumble, a $2 donation is usually green, guys. Usually green. And it makes me want to play this sound. Don't forget to... Hulk! Smash! That like button. And thank you for the support over there on Pilled. My gosh, guys, that gets us to, I think we are at like $5.15, something like that. So that gets us, we're $45 away from Fancy Hat Goal on a Monday night. Indeed. All right. Get back to this here. And we might actually take a look at this body cam video here in a minute, because I kind of want to show you guys what I was talking about, that stimming that he was doing. If this is an individual, like the one on camera, the black and white, slightly distorted, he would be stimming. He just would be. Let's see. Duck walk. The outward angle of his feet was also evident when he was standing and not in motion. An outward foot angle was not seen with the hoodie-clad bomb suspect in the footage that captured the masked bomber walking on Capitol Hill the evening of January 5th, 2021. A relative told Blaze News that Cole has long had the outward foot angle in his walk. Based on more than 20 minutes of video showing the hoodie suspect, that individual tends more to an inward foot angle, often referred to as being pigeon-toed. At several points during the walk around Capitol Hill on January 5th, the feet of the hoodie suspect cross over each other when their stride width is minimal. This is sometimes called tightrope walking or line walking. The crossover feat is especially noticeable in perhaps the most famous piece of video of the bomb suspect striding south on Rumsey Court before making a hard turn right toward the Capitol Hill Club. The hoodie suspect walked with a consistent, definitive right leg drag, seen across more than 20 minutes of video, which that individual, the soccer player lady, had an injury on her right leg, so I'm just saying. Just saying. These characteristics are not present in the limited amount of public video that shows Cole's gait. Let's take a look. Actually, let me... it's going to get smaller. Not an expand here. Damn it. Wish I could get that bigger for you guys. That's what she said. Oh. Yeah, it's not the best video. You can see though, he's got his feet splayed out. Those feet do go in. The torso thing, too, really gets me. That the shorter torso on the person in the hoodie on the right, like, that's not the same person. Just him. I was pigeon-toed. Takes just a few hours to replicate those walks, enough to fuel a full folks. Even with that, though, the gait analysis can... Okay, oh, shoot. Sorry. All right. So here's the more of his interaction with that when he rear-ended a truck. Church truck, apparently. Huh. Yeah. I mean, the defense team for Brian Cole is going to be loving Steve Baker's reporting on this. Definitely helps their case. That don't look like the same person. It just doesn't. This was an op. They put him, and they put one under at the DNC and the RNC. They did both for good measure, right? Oh my. Oh my, just Jim. That's a big one. Adding that to favorites. Sticker stolen. Sticker stolen. It's a lot to handle right there, just Jim. A lot to handle. So a 2024 research study of older children and adolescents with autism found they had greater step width than the control subjects with no autism. Common traits in autistic individuals include shorter step length, increased cadence, and wider step width, according to the study published in the Journal of Sports Medicine and Health Science. The authors said the unusual gait patterns seen in autistic individuals were in part compensation for lower extremity weakness. I know him by his walk. This unique gait pattern may represent a movement strategy used by the individuals with ASD to compensate for the weakness associated with their knee extensor muscles, the study said. Individuals with autism spectrum disorder, ASD, who demonstrate these unique gait deviations may face reduced postural stability and an increased risk of fall-related injuries. Very true. Excuse me. Let's see. It's Fannie Willis. Fannie. Chops. I actually feel bad for the people and their pets that still trust the FBI at this point. Yeah. Let's see. Risks related to muscular and coordination deficits may be exacerbated as movement difficulty increases. Example, running, stepping stairs, carrying school bags. The study said, going upstairs 1 foot at a time. They might have to do step, 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 step instead of, step, step, step. Cole appears to have a shorter stride than the hoodie suspect. The independent investigator known online as Armitage estimated the hoodie suspect's stride 2 consecutive steps at 57 inches. Video stills of Cole at the 2024 accident scene show a fairly compact stride length compared to the hoodie suspect, he said. And it also depends on like medications that you might be on. So sometimes people with different developmental disabilities might be on a medication that makes them shuffle a little bit. So not necessarily just on the ASD, but it could be different medication that they take to help them function a little bit more, just say normally. Yeah, a bit of a shuffle there. Definitely not. This is helping the defense. So drinking in an alley right now. Be careful, CW. Good job apologizing. If you were needling at anybody there. He also exhibited a posture sometimes crudely referred to as duck butt. This is exactly what I was thinking of. Yeah, duck butt. That's yeah. With a forward torso and a protrusion of the rear. A 2018 study in the journal Frontiers in Psychology found that children with autism showed a greater forward tilt of the pelvis throughout the gait cycle compared to a control group. Guys, this is like I'm definitely. If this is getting too nerdy for you, I'm sorry, but I'm definitely enjoying reading through this article. This is a well-written article by Steve Baker and the other guy. This is well-written. This is a good piece. I like this type of article. This type of article just stimulates my brain. Feels good. A 2025 study from Greece said motor impairments affect up to 80% of individuals with autism spectrum disorder. The study, which reviewed findings from 17 research papers on autism and gait, said individuals diagnosed with ASD generally demonstrate reduced coordination. Children with autism, the study said, tend to have a less fluid and more effortful gait. That is true. Agents wondered if the injury could have accounted for the odd gait seen on security footage. Cole's shoes appear much larger than the Nike Air Max Speed turf shoes worn by the hoodie-clad bomb suspect. In late December, Blaze News took measurements of the sidewalks and gutter pan along the Virginia street where Cole's traffic accident occurred, and of the sidewalk trod by the hoodie suspect outside the DNC building on January 5th. Based on those measurements, Cole's feet are as large as size 12.5, substantially larger than those of the hoodie suspect. It appears that Cole's feet are also disproportionately large for someone who stands at 5 foot 5 inches or 5 foot 6 inches tall. The hoodie suspect's feet, however, appear proportionate to that individual's 5 foot 7 inch frame. It's the chick. It's the Capitol Police chick. It is. It freaking is. Basically, their core muscles are weak and it throws off many things. That's why they often W sit. Yeah. Yep. That is true. Laura knows what she's talking about. Let's see. So witnesses described Cole's walk. 2 witnesses who have observed Cole's gait over the span of at least a decade in his hometown told Blaze that Cole's walk is vastly different from that of the hoodie suspect. Sunny Sendhu, owner of the Sunny Sendhu, owner of the 7-Eleven store on Minnieville Road in Woodbridge, not far from the Cole family home, said he has watched Cole come to and go from the store a minimum of 2 to 3 times per week during at least a 13-year period. And this guy probably has a very routine method of, a routine that he sticks to, rather. Well, growing, have a good evening, Dozer. Need to totally focus on studying and reading. Good luck to you, good sir. Thank you so much for hanging out as long as you have here in the Dozer Den. Don't forget to smash the like button, repost, comment, all those good things. And good luck to you in your educational endeavors, good sir. Another can from Just Jim. Absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. Getting us up to $7.89, I think. Appreciate the hell out of that, man. Thank you. Very, very much. Very much indeed. Loving when the gold gets spread around, guys. Over there on Pilled, pretty much everything is lit up in gold. And I do love me some gold.
I love gold.
Thank you. Let's see. $7.89. Getting us closer, guys. Getting us closer. We're almost only $40 away from Fancy Hat Goal. Huh. Damn it, CW! After Cole's arrest, Sandhu said he watched the FBI video of the hoodie suspect walking down an alley to place the second pipe bomb near the RNC. I go, no way. The kid doesn't walk like that, Sandu said. This kid has no confidence in his stride at all. Cole has a goofy walk that does not resemble the FBI bomb suspect, Sandu said. There's no way. He's going to be a witness, I'm assuming. He was always very robotic and socially awkward, which is common. Cole was a consistent regular at the 7-Eleven, always asking for 2 Cokes and a pizza, Sandu said. So it is, 2 Cokes and a pizza. Every time he came in, it was always the same thing, same routine. It's very common. Sandu told Blaze News in an interview, always had his headphones on, always made it the same order, bought 2 Cokes and a pizza. A law enforcement source who lives in the same area as the Cole family told Blaze News that he saw Cole on a regular basis out walking his little dog in the neighborhood. He described Cole's demeanor as awkward. We were super surprised to hear he was the subject arrested for the January 6 pipe bombs, the source told Blaze News. The immediate thought was, there's no way he had the mental ability to plan and prepare something like that. He was always very robotic and socially awkward around the neighborhood. And what's crazy is the FBI is saying that he purchased like some duct tape or like some of the materials that could be used in making these pipe bombs like 2 or 3 years before. And it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add up at all. It's a stretch. It's a serious stretch. But anyways. I'm only trying to understand why snitches deserve stitches. It's a phrase. CW currently displaying a touch of the tism. You're good, dude. Let's see. Where were we at here? My second thought was, seeing how he behaved around the neighborhood, how could he have functioned in downtown D.C., the source said. I had no doubt he was the wrong guy and complete doubt the FBI did a proper investigation to identify him. Was this from the law enforcement source? Ooh. Interesting. A Blaze News reporter and an investigator who witnessed Cole walk into a February court hearing in the U.S. District Court in Washington, D.C., said Colgate appeared distinct from the hoodie suspect. Eyesight appears different as well. In the Virginia body cam video, thanks, Missed in the MT for the red pill and over there on Bill. Bill, do you know why 6 is afraid of 7? I would say because 7, 8, 9. But also, all the kids went 6, 7. Jim's got jokes. Yeah, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there we go. You tied it in, Jim. You tied it in. I appreciate that. See, no way he'd go. Damn it. It's good. It's good. No way he'd go to a new place at night and do this. His anxiety would have had him stimming like crazy. He'd look like a tweaker on cam. Yes. This case, and what bothers me is how many people just laughed it up. Just because the administration that's currently in is quote unquote in charge of the FBI, guys, how well did that work during the first time, huh? How well did that work with Trump in the first administration? The FBI was still doing its own dirty shit in the background. So if you think that just because Trump administration is in there, the FBI is completely cleared up, I'm sorry, but no, it's not. No, it's not. The holdovers from the years and years and years, they're still there. They're still doing their thing. They're still being nefarious as hell. So if you're using rose-colored glasses to view the 3-letter agencies that are currently under this administration, you might want to go ahead and say they're not really under this administration. This administration is under the 3-letter agencies. I think the 3-letter agencies like the FBI and the CIA, ATF, need to be abolished, in my opinion. I think that they need to be, we need an etch-a-sketch approach to those because they are currently the head of the snake, and until we get rid of them, we do not have a free country. That's just my opinion. After much research and observation. His eyesight apparently appears different. In the Virginia body cam video, Cole kept his phone about 6 to 8 inches from his face, indicating a likely nearsighted condition. The hoodie suspect, in contrast, held the cell phone in the lap while sitting on the park bench behind the DNC building. This was about 2 feet from the eyes, which could indicate that Cole's eyesight is significantly different from the eyesight of the hoodie. This is reasonable doubt. This is all reasonable doubt. There's no way they're going to be able to prove this beyond a reasonable doubt. It's DC, though. And when they want to get somebody, they get somebody. It's because 789ers. It happened. It took me a minute. History of gait analysis. We could watch this really quick here.
535. 1 second, I'll get you another tech.
Yeah, he's got that phone right in his face. Good job on the officers that responded to him rear-ending somebody.
We're almost done.
They handled it pretty well.
We're almost done. I need to give you your paperwork.
A lot of officers go through training to deal with individuals with developmental disabilities. It's clear it's needed because it can go south really, really quick with somebody who has a developmental disability.
Right now, I'm just waiting for his insurance. I mean, because I'm just waiting for it to 535. 1 second, I'll get you the other tag.
Yep, phone's on the lap over here. History of gait analysis. The FBI and state and local law enforcement agencies have used gait analysis in a variety of investigations. In fact, the FBI used gait analysis early in the pipe bombs case to help rule out a suspect, according to Injustice, a 2025 book by 2 Washington Post reporters. The FBI's investigation of who purchased the same Nike Air Max Speed Turf sneakers worn by the hoodie suspect led the Bureau to a gym employee who lived in the area near the crime scenes. The person came under further scrutiny after he initially lied to agents about a leg injury, according to people familiar with the investigation, wrote Carol Lenig and Aaron Davis. Agents wondered if the injury could have accounted for the odd gait seen on security footage. The FBI later concluded that the man had no other possible ties to the case and ruled him out as a suspect. Davis and Lenig wrote, Erst with a $10 donation on Rumble. Amazing. Getting us to $17.89 on the night. Thank you so much for that. Said, I'm so tired of all these psyops. I don't know what's real anymore. Oh, wait. Who said that again? We will know we have succeeded when nobody knows what's true anymore. I think that was the gist of it. Who did say that? What's up, Hernandez2787? Good to see you. Thank you for that $10 donation over on Rumble. Turning the chat a lovely, lovely shade of gold. And like I said earlier, guys, I do love me some gold. It's quite delightful.
I love gold.
Thank you very much for that donation. Don't deserve it, but I do appreciate it. Let's see some more here. Yeah, there's a lot of psyops. Who did say that? That's a good quote. I know that quote. Said, we will know we have succeeded when nobody knows what's true anymore. It's a good quote. Rest well, Lore Blades. Thanks for hanging out for an hour and 40 minutes. You can always leave us on in the background as you drift off into dreamland. Let my soothing voice help you drift off. Let's see. More recently, gait analysis was used on security footage in the February 1st disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, mother of NBC Today. I wonder whatever happened to that. Show co-anchor Savannah Guthrie. Gait analysis has been used in criminal cases in the West as far back as the 1830s. In an 1837 case in London, burglary suspect Thomas Jackson, 36, was convicted based in part on a policeman's testimony describing his gait, according to the 1840 Central Criminal Court Minutes of Evidence. Patrolman George Cheney told the court that he arrested Jackson on March 1st, 1837, charged with the burglary of Heath and Company. Security guard William Meagle detained Jackson after discovering him overnight on the main floor of the building. Well, that's interesting. I have no doubt of his being the man. I know him by his walk, Cheney said in court testimony. When he was remanded, I had to take him backwards and forwards 3 or 4 times, and he had a limp in his walk, having had an accident, and I know his features. Police Constable Philip Parrish told the court that Jackson had a bow leg. Sergeant George Teakle said the suspect had suffered a broken leg. I observed him rather limp on one side. No, rather limp. Never mind, it was we'll know our disinformation program is complete when everything the American people believe is false. It's commonly attributed to William J. Casey, director of the CIA. I knew it was a CIA guy. But I didn't remember his name. William J. Casey, director of the CIA from 1981 to 87. 100%. 100%. Yes. Gosh darn. In the way of deception, thou shalt make war. Mossad. Oh, God. Hey, Chops already had it over there on Build. When our work is done, no one will know anything. William Casey. Gosh, you guys are so informed. It's above, very, 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 very intelligent audience. I will say that. Very intelligent audience here in the Dozer Den. You kill dozers. Got some brains to you. Let's see. I observed him rather limp on one side. Teakle recounted. I said, you have a broken leg. He said, I have not. Okay. Forensic gate. Okay. I don't. That part of the article is a little bit dorky. Not gonna lie. That part of the article is just a tiny bit dorky. Forensic gait analysis has been used in criminal cases in the UK much longer than in the US. It is subspecialty of forensic podiatry. Forensic podiatrist Michael Nuremberg, not Nuremberg, described forensic podiatry as the application of sound and research podiatry knowledge and experience in forensic investigations to show the association of an individual with the scene of a crime. Nuremberg has testified in several criminal trials using gait analysis and footprint and footwear evidence to tie defendants to crime scenes. His testimony was key to the conviction of an armed robbery suspect in Wayne County, Tennessee, in January 2017. 3 men robbed the Barry's one-stop convenience store. Detectives did not find any evidence such as fingerprints or DNA. One of them did notice something peculiar about one man on surveillance video: his walk. Detective Dusty Malugian asked Nuremberg to compare the robbery surveillance video to video of a subject who came into the convenience store days before the crime. Nuremberg found a match by observing the men. I do brain stuff's good too. You do brain stuff's good too, Selva. Ah, yes indeed. Nope, 7. Tried to push 6 into the game closet. That's Thanksgiving. Uh oh. It said, I pledge allegiance to the States of Judge Boasberg. Ah, yes. All these district court judges, or is Boasberg a district court judge? Declaring certain actions just not applicable. 7 tried to push 6 into the game closet. Excuse me. Let's see. You can see how he's walking, Nuremberg told the Journal and Courier newspaper. His feet and knees are out, toed. You can see the way his head is positioned on his shoulders. His head hangs forward. Nuremberg's analysis was presented to a local grand jury in which indicated a suspect confronted with the evidence. The man confessed to the robbery and rolled over on his 2 accomplices. All 3 were sent to prison. Well, damn. Nuremberg assisted police and the FBI with gait analysis in the April 2016 murder of Missy Bevers, 45, a fitness instructor in Midlothian, Texas. That case remains unsolved. Damn. AI and forensic gait analysis. The use of artificial intelligence to analyze the movements of individuals shown on surveillance video is an emerging method that claims up to near perfect accuracy. That's a tough one to prove, though. Europe-based consultant Cursor Insight says its gait recognition system achieved 98.3% accuracy using video of a single gait cycle, measuring only thigh and shank flexion angles of both legs. Going for 888. Nice. Infinity. Favorite quote is by Julian Assange. If wars can be started by lies, peace can be started by truth. That's a damn good quote. If wars can be started by lies, then peace can be started by truth. Man, they say the truth will set you free. That'd be nice. Using other factors, such as segment lengths and analyzing several gait cycles, can increase accuracy to 99.9% or higher. Not much higher than 100, I guess. Can't get higher than that. The company reported in a 14-page case study. The AI-powered gait analysis has advantages over biometrics such as facial recognition, which often fails when the subject is far away, covered in darkness, or wearing a face mask, the case study said. Our AI-powered gait analysis tech can transform seemingly worthless video into reliable forensic evidence, the case study said. Even when facial recognition fails, we can identify individuals by analyzing body dimensions, body pose, and motion patterns, such as walking or running. Cole contests each of the government's factual claims. Nuremberg said gait analysis will become a more prominent part of criminal investigations. The admissions of video evidence in criminal matters will continue to grow, and with it, those perpetrating crimes will increasingly take measures to conceal their identity, he wrote in Criminal Justice magazine. Even so, criminals cannot hide their gait. This is a significant fact for attorneys on both sides of a criminal case. A U.S. intelligence community source told Blaze News that gait recognition tech is much farther advanced in China. Gait recognition will eventually be used as the most important law enforcement tool in identifying criminal suspects from the increased proliferation of CCTV, the source said. The downside is that it will also be used by authoritarian governments in establishing their social credit scores, tracking jaywalkers in crowded cities, and other such undesirable behaviors. Well, there you go. Steve Baker and Joseph M. Hanneman wrote that article. Very, very well written piece. That was a fun article to read through. I hope you guys enjoyed that as well, and I hope you were informed and somewhat entertained. What's up, Layla Decker? Good to see you. Been a minute. Flock cameras are working with Palantir to predict pre-crime. I mean, it did mention that. Did mention that. You walk with a limp and getting caught if they got video. It's apparently, yeah, the gait analysis stuff is interesting. And when the first piece came out, I guess back in January, I did a little bit more reading into it then, but it does seem like there's some validity to it. It's tested, and I mean, they put that out in their article that we just went through. By the way, links to the article in the description if you want to read through it and digest it more fully. I just do not. This whole thing stinks. The whole thing stinks with the FBI. And again, if you're trusting the 3-letter agencies just because your administration is in, I think that's short-sighted. I think it's quite short-sighted. But see, Earth's boyfriend could be wearing a Scream outfit, and I would know it was him by his walk. Yep. It's almost like a fingerprint. So it's interesting. Your legs got unequal decades ago. How'd that happen, Chops? Unequal legs. Oh. Speaking of unequal legs, next story, guys. The nub of Malice. It seems an individual. This is our kind of interesting story. It's going to be lighthearted because I'm going to make horrible jokes. But the nub of Malice. Unequal legs. Horrible transition. I'm sorry. This is the suspect. Apparently, a quadruple amputee may in fact have murdered somebody. Video posted in January 20, and people are like, "Oh, how did he shoot somebody if he has no hands? How did he do it?" Well, video posted in January 2024 shows cornhole star, by the way, he's a cornhole star too, Dayton Weber loading and firing a handgun. Weber's accused of shooting and killing 27-year-old Bradrick Michael Wells in Maryland before driving off with the body in his car. You know what? This guy is an overachiever. Look at how much he's just like everybody else. He's able to kill people, put them in the car and take off, drive. Excellent use of adaptive technology, I'm just saying. The nub of Malice is what I call it. Yes. It's horrible. It's horrible. The American Cornhole League has released the following statement. The ACL is aware of the reports regarding allegations involving Dayton Weber. This is an extremely serious matter, and our thoughts are with all those impacted, including the family and loved ones of Bradrick Michael Wells. At this time, this remains an active legal situation with respect to the judicial process, and we will not comment on specific allegations or details while proceedings are ongoing. Here's the video. He's again, it makes me a little bit self-conscious. I need to get out and practice with my weapon. Look at him. Loads it in. Locks it down. Racks it. Get you strong. A nub. What even is it? There's not a finger bone there. What's he using? I'm so confused. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this took him a long time to perfect. I'm not sad about that. I don't apologize. God damn, your leg got broken so your ankle was touching your knee. That's awful, Chops. That's awful. Whew. It's rough. So there's that guy. Here's this here. So here's him playing cornhole. For love of God. This is a thing. This is the most fascinating headline I've ever seen.
I'm Dayton Weber, and I'm a professional cornhole player. I had gotten a bacterial infection when I was just 10 months old. The infection that got into my arms and legs was called Streptococcus pneumoniae. They had actually given me a 3% chance of living, and the only way that they were able to save me was by getting the infections out of my system. They had to amputate my arms and legs to keep me alive.
Freaking tragic. My God.
I'm thankful for the Lord and giving those surgeons the power that he did that day to be able to make such a miracle happen.
Wasn't so good for the guy he killed.
Inspiration to me.
Maybe it was self-defense. Maybe it was self-defense, guys. You know, it could have been self-defense.
Is a daily
lover's quarrel.
Driver. I believe that God put me on this planet for one reason. Everybody's got their reasons for being here, but my reason I feel like is to inspire other people just by me doing my daily task. I want them to have the sense of I can go out there and do anything I put my mind to.
I think he's using the elbow bone for the trigger. That's probably right. That's probably you know what? Yep. Anatomy. We need Pulled McGroy in here. He's going through the anatomy stuff.
If they say, I want to go out and become a pro cornhole player now, I want them to look at me and be like, I can do it. I know I can. Anybody can play, anybody can win.
Yeah, he can murder people just like everybody else. Fuck. This is awful. This is such a bad story. Well, good for him, yeah. See, quadruple amputee professional cornhole player accused of murdering someone before driving off in his Tesla. No Arms and Legs was featured on ESPN. Is accused of shooting 27-year-old Bradrick Michael Wells during an argument. Police say Weber was in his Tesla SUV when he shot Wells in the passenger seat. Oh, that's probably not self-defense. Wow. He then pulled over and asked two backseat passengers to help pull Wells out of the car. They refused and got out of the car before calling police. Yeah. Weber then allegedly drove off with Wells' body in the car. It's completely unclear how Weber was able to... Well, now we know. Jesus. It's early in the investigation, but there's no evidence to suggest anyone else was involved in the shooting and that he acted alone. Sheriff's office said. Wow. What's up, yanking a groin? Good to see ya. You're yanking a groin. Do I search for X for the video? What video? You talking about the one where he was shooting? He didn't have TV. He did not have TV for his bunghole. No, he did not. If you're talking about the one where he was using his elbow to shoot, that was right. That one was right here. He did it. Oh, yeah, that works. That works, CW. Using the little elbow nub. Nub of Malice. Could have been Nub of Vengeance. Okay? Could have been Nub of Vengeance. Just saying. We do have an article. So videos to the side. And yes, you are. If you giggled at any of those puns, you're going to hell. Repent, sinners. Go to confession. Well, if you're not Catholic, you probably can't. But I'll go. I'll go for you. Okay. From ABC News, Meredith Deliso wrote this earlier today. Quadruple amputee cornhole champion facing murder charges in fatal shooting. Maryland man who is a quadruple amputee cornhole champion facing murder charges for allegedly shooting this guy. We already said that was after an argument. He was found dead in Charlotte Hall, Maryland, according to the sheriff's office. Two people who were in the backseat of the car refused witnessed the deadly shooting. The sheriff's office said Weber allegedly asked them for their help in disposing of the body. Good on them for not helping dispose of a body. That would have been bad. And they called the cops. They reported the shooting shortly before 10:30 p.m. Sunday. According to the Charles County Sheriff's Office, nearly 2 hours later, an individual reported the victim's body in a yard in Charlotte Hall, according to the Sheriff's Office, which said it then obtained a warrant for Weber's arrest. What led to this? Things really got out of hand. They really did get out of hand. That's right. Thanks for hitting that red pill. I agree. Let's see. So, an officer with the Albemarle. What kind of word is that? Albemarle? Albemarle. Albemarle? County Police Department subsequently located Weber's vehicle at a gas station in Charlottesville, but it's a Tesla. Okay, he could have stopped for a post-murder snack. Okay, post-murder snacks are necessary sometimes. Maybe he should have just asked himself, what would Jesus do before he shot the dude? Pretty sure Jesus wouldn't shoot people. Mister, thank God for my life. Yeah. Good Lord. Good Lord. The suspect was then found at a nearby hospital seeking treatment for an unspecified medical issue, taken into custody upon his release and charged as a fugitive from justice, authorities said. Weber is awaiting extradition to Charles County, where he'll be charged with first-degree murder, second-degree murder, first and second, and other charges. The Charles County Sheriff's, I guess they want to have one stick, I suppose. Weber Wells and the two other passengers in the vehicle were all known to each other, the sheriff's office said. The incident remains under investigation. It is unclear if Weber has an attorney. He probably should get one. ABC News has attempted to reach out to a representative for comment through his sponsorship email. Weber is a notable professional cornhole player who was profiled by ESPN in 2023. He was crowned the best cornhole player in Maryland in 2020 and competed in the American Cornhole League World Championships the following year, according to ESPN. So he wasn't in like a Paralympics cornhole league. He was in just the basic cornhole league and apparently was just stomping everybody with his nubs. This is awful. This is awful. So many things. Just I wonder how did this. I wonder what kind of rig he had in that Tesla to be able to drive. Like, there was adaptive equipment used. Like, good Lord. The American Cornhole League addressed this arrest. We already read that. Weber called cornhole his calling in the ESPN feature. He became a quadruple amputee after contracting a bacterial infection that led to sepsis at 10 months old. That is very sad. Very, very sad. I want to know more context. I want to know more about what could have led this individual. Oh, I wasn't even sharing that anymore. I want to know more. I want to know more about why, why this guy's defense might not have a leg to stand on. It's awful. Awful. Neurodivergent 1 Mod King in the chat. Make sure you guys hit that follow, smash that thumbs up, and repost this stream, guys. Bacon thumb. Bacon thumb. Bacon thumb. Yeah, no, CW on Discord. No leg to stand on and not a hand in the game. Can't say he's keeping you at arm's length. Yes, then you... Yes, CW, I just... Yes, exactly. Exactly. It's awful. It's awful. So, was he part of the Nubbins gang? Nub of Vengeance. I just wonder what this argument was about. Could it have been that bad? Could it have been that bad that it led to this? I just don't understand. I really don't. Let me check something really quick. Okay, we're good. Just making sure. There's a chick locally that has no arms and legs. She drives a van. There's ways that they can do it. Little extender things that they can slide their nub in and attaches to the accelerator, the gas pedal and the brake. Oh man, it's fascinating. Fascinating. Revenge of the Nubs. Yes, indeed. But I guess we'll see more coming out. Guys, after that, speaking of nubs, this is a very heartwarming shift, okay, right here. Heartwarming and wholesome shift. 7 dogs stolen from their owners have gone viral after escaping from an illegal transport truck and making their way home. They traveled around 17 kilometers together, led by a corgi. The Nubs. The corgi is the nubby individual that led them. If they don't make a movie out of this, guys, if they don't make a movie out of this, what are they even doing? What are they even... Australia has run out of gas. Well, that's not good. Like, legit? They traveled around 17 kilometers together, led by a corgi across highways and fields, now safely back with their respective owners. Well, are they going to track down the people who stole them? Look at this. Homeward bound. That corgi's leading them. Very dramatic music. But they didn't get hit. That's a heartwarming story. That's from Milo Yiannopoulos. I didn't expect that. Apparently, NVIDIA has announced that we've reached AGI. You guys think that's legit? Oh, no. So, wait. So, Australia has, like, legit ran out of gas? Self-Stern, let me look that up really quick. Did they drink it all this time? Yeah. Or did the ads not work? Oh, they do drink. Don't drink the gas. They did a whole ad campaign. Don't drink the gas. Oh, shit. The small rat. I'm curious now. Well, I'm going to have to do a little bit of research on the fly here. I thought I was going to keep it around 2 hours tonight, but this has got me... Oh, damn. A significant fuel shortage crisis primarily affecting regional and remote areas with hundreds of petrol stations across the country running out of petrol, diesel, and jet fuel. Oof. Well, that's not good. Let's check this out. I got a clip from, Damn. Got a YouTube clip here. 10 minutes. 9 News Australia. Let's check it out. It just... Why can't we have countries, like, be energy independent and be able to take care... I mean, I don't know what Australia has resource-wise, but I know we could. We could be. Check out Cafe Lockout on Rumble. Yeah.
Good afternoon. Australia's fuel supply crisis has reached new depths. Across New South Wales, there are more than 40 stations that have run dry.
I've seen that,
That's
CW.
just one of the reasons the Prime Minister has been forced to act, appointing a national fuel coordinator to manage supply. Emily Saunders is live for us in Canberra now. So, Emily, how is this going to help petrol and diesel get to where it's needed most?
Well, Deb, this coordinator's job is pretty much to oversee the relationships between the Commonwealth and states when it comes to Australia's fuel supply. That was the outcome from today's National Cabinet meeting, where state and territory leaders met with the Prime Minister virtually to discuss the ongoing fuel crisis, hitting our regional communities hard in particular. Anthea Harris will be leading the National Task Force, the former CEO of the Australian Energy Regulator, to ensure fuel gets to where it's needed with the advice of every state and territory. It comes as the ACCC launches an investigation into anti-competitive behaviour by major retailers Ampol, BP, Mobil and Viva Energy relating to diesel supply to the independent operators in regional and rural Australia.
The longer the conflict the Middle East goes, the more significant the impact will be.
We have seen shortages. The government's not on top of it. Now it's asking the ACCC to fix the situation. The minister just needs to do his job.
And the Treasurer has also, Emily, given an update on our economy, as well as some indicators of what we could see in the upcoming May budget.
He has, Deb. Tonight, he's announced changes to some of the expectations around Australia's productivity. The country now not expected to hit its target rate for another 5 years, meaning less money earned during that time and a hit to our economic growth. Productivity in Australia's economy is proving to be a major challenge for the government. We know from figures released today that the unemployment rate remains low at 4.3%, but the efficiency of that workforce is slowing down. The Treasurer also confirming the May budget will have 3 reform packages, focusing on productivity, savings and tax.
All of this economic uncertainty and volatility is a reason for more reform, not less. It's a reason to go further, not slower.
The Treasurer there, Deb, promising an ambitious budget with reforms to help younger Australians.
All right, Emily, thank you. Meantime, dozens of New South Wales petrol stations are completely out of fuel today, despite promises that Australia's supply is fine. Helene Lambetsos has more.
Well, this Balcombe Hills petrol station is one of the dozens in Sydney to be hit by these fuel supply shortages in the last
Some eyebrows on that one.
few days.
I was hoping I'd get some, at least a little bit.
We've got all out of orders everywhere. Crazy.
The Yugo self-service station, one of 42 sites across
Agreed,
the
Layla.
state,
Agreed.
completely empty today.
All of
80
it.
of them have no diesel. The Amp hole in Belrose only selling the most expensive unleaded 98. The Prime Minister laying the blame at the feet of panic buyers.
There is not less fuel in
Exactly,
Australia
Justin.
today than there was 3 weeks ago. Please do not take more fuel than you need. That is how you can help. It's the Australian way, to think of others, to think of their neighbours, their community, and also to think of the national interest.
The Premier assuring the community that no shipment has been cancelled, but admitting there is uncertainty ahead as he calls for calm.
And it allows us more time to prepare for every eventuality if the conflict in the Persian Gulf continues.
The question on every...
The thing is, though, like, the only reason that this, like, I get that it's a multifaceted issue with the gas prices. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, if you're involved in that, you're subject to the whims of speculation on a world scale. And it shouldn't be like that. Because this country should be able to function independently when it comes to fuel, in my opinion.
Body's mind, when will this start to get better?
Rising fuel prices are wreaking havoc on a range of goods, with fears it will also...
Yeah, I saw that, Selva. The Texas refinery exploded. Not a good. I just saw that before the stream, so I didn't. We might take a look at that. There's going to need to be an investigation into that for sure. Our oil, the refineries do not need to be compromised right now, and it would be very easy for sleeper cells or nefarious actors within this country, even if not necessarily a sleeper cell, but people that are just ramped up from what's going on in the Middle East right now, to start striking.
affect the price of seafood heading into Easter. Madison Scott joins me now from the Sydney fish markets. So, Maddie, will fuel have an impact on the price of prawns and all the fish we love to eat over Easter?
Yeah.
Deb, it's a sad reality, but at the end of the day, the consumer will pay. Now, Sydney rock oysters at the moment at Nicholas Seafood here behind me are sitting around $30 a kilo. But in just 2 weeks' time, when we hit that bumper Easter season, we may see that price rise. Now, we spoke to the CEO of the brand new Sydney fish market here earlier, and he said that it's too soon to tell what that exact price rise will look like. However, consumers can expect that the flow-on effect will happen, and they have said that a little bit of good news is the resources will be maintained, you know, the produce will be maintained. We'll see the same amount of fish here, so don't worry, you will be able to get your seafood goods for Easter, but just they might cost a little bit more.
All right, Maddie, thank you. We'll have more of that chat with the CEO of the fish markets later in the bulletin. The strikes on major oil and gas fields are crippling global supply as Israel and the United States' war with Iran escalates. Both sides now targeting critical energy infrastructure, sending fuel prices soaring. US correspondent Reid Butler has this update.
Well, Iran promised swift revenge after one of its gas facilities was hit by an Israeli strike. But what we have seen is an Iranian missile.
Did you guys see Ukraine hit a Russian refinery? Ukraine hit a Russian oil refinery. Perfect timing, Ukraine. How about you sit down and shut the fuck up, Ukraine? How about you stop?
Now hitting a gas plant in Qatar. So 5 Iranian missiles were fired. One got through the defensive operations there and caused major damage and sparked this response from Qatar's foreign ministry. They called this a flagrant violation of state sovereignty and claimed the Iranian side continues its escalatory policies that are pushing the region towards the brink and drawing countries not party to this crisis into the conflict zone.
I mean, it is kind of random. They're flailing about. Iran has been flailing about since the attacks started, since the war started. And if anybody is telling you that this isn't a war at this point, don't listen to them. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. If anybody is still telling you that this is not a war, they're disingenuous, they're lying, or they're stupid. This is a war. That's what it is. You can't tell me this is limited strikes. No, it's a fucking war. If anybody's saying this isn't a war, sorry, but that's a fucking lie. That's a fucking lie.
This follows that Israeli strike I mentioned earlier. Yes, Israel carried that out in Iran, but it was given the green light by the United States, and it is sure to put more pressure on.
And yes, of course, it's not officially declared a war until after the 90 days because of the War Powers Act. Yeah, we can get into the minutia of it for sure, but no, it's a war.
On international energy security.
It looks like we're going into a retaliatory tit-for-tat phase where energy infrastructure is going to be targeted, and that obviously is going to affect global energy prices, not just the parties to the conflict.
Israel also with another successful assassination attempt, this time Iran's intelligence minister Ismail Hatib, the third high-profile member of the regime to be killed in recent days.
George.
There are still people very much in support of the regime. In Tehran, we saw these demonstrations, growing protests, and look at these effigies of Donald Trump and the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu being burned underneath a statue that's...
It is weird that they burned a ball and then all of a sudden Israel decided to attack Iran. What's that about? That's a weird coincidence.
Symbolizes the devil. Trump, though, it
was ball. It wasn't the devil, it was ball. Which, I mean, a lot of the times ball can be, I guess, substituted for the devil in common connotation, but...
Confident the war will end soon. Today he cut a solemn figure in Delaware for the dignified transfer of 6 US service members. They died in a plane refueling accident as part of American-Israel's war in Iran.
A domestic violence victim has been cleared of murdering her ex-husband, who she ran over during an argument.
Right, well, I think that's about enough of that. That sucks. Sucks the instability that we're seeing. I hope we can wrap this thing up quickly. Like I said, whenever that Saturday when it all started popping off, there's no point in, clawing at my face about what's going on. It's going on. So I would hope that we would get a quicker solution. If you're going to go hard, or if you're going to go in, go hard. Get out. Get it done. Get out. That's what I would like to see. But if they have American bases, they're going to be attacked. That's what I would do if I were Iran. I mean, yeah, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. This is a spiritual... that's... Rough line from Hegseth about that. Something about the apocalypse or something. Like, don't try to force prophecy. When you try to force prophecy, I think God has a problem with trying to force prophecy. That would just be my thought. Probably shouldn't do that. Probably shouldn't try to force that. But that's just me. That's just me. All right. We are going to see maybe one more thing here. Let me see if I had one more thing for you. Let me see. One last thing here. Good Lord. And the man, you know what? It might not be perpetual motion, but that's allowed. This is sure is an interesting little thing here. That I want to share with you guys. So Congress will probably make this illegal. And then someone's like, oh, perpetual motion machines are physically impossible. Well, that's Wikipedia. Oh, we're rating that note. We're rating that note right fucking now. No, it is not. Sources included are not reliable. I mean, they probably do. I'm going to say it's opinion or speculation. Misses key points. And that's all I'm going to say. Can you guys rate notes? Does everybody rate notes? Am I special? Anyways, here's a cool thing. Maybe not perpetual because the rubber bands would wear out. There's friction involved. There's an exchange of energy, yes. This is pretty cool, though. That's cool. Oh, I just wanted to share that with you guys. But all right, we are a little over 2 hours in, and tell Benny Johnson that he's pushing like an ass. I don't watch Benny Johnson. He's entertaining as a propagandist. I agree. Yeah, Benny Johnson is propaganda. I don't watch him, but he had some cool clips. But it's it is what it is. All right, guys. I do believe that is all we got tonight. We've talked about some things. Tonight. We talked about the Supreme Court with their Election Day oral arguments. We covered the piece from Steve Baker and, was it Joseph Henneman from The Blaze about the J6 Pipebomber, misidentified possibly. And we talked about the amputee murderer, the cornhole champion, the nub of Malice. Fun topics tonight. Fun topics. Hope you guys have had a good time. Hope you've been informed, entertained. That's the goal here anyways. Let's find somebody to raid on Pilled and on Rumble. We'll raid to Third Railify on Pilled, and let's raid to shoot, we'll do a double. We'll do Third Railify on Pilled and on Rumble. How about that? But before that, oh, don't forget to smash that like button. Let me shout out the reposts in the comments really quick. Neurodivergent 1, Down 7232, Salty Zipper Tits, Pulled McGroin, Silva Sojourn. Thank you guys so much for reposting the stream on Rumble. That definitely helps this channel out, and those like buttons help this channel out. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. Let's find Third Rail. Go over there. There we go. There we go. All right. Let's do this here. Before we leave, I'm going to play the Dozer Den theme song. That's what we're going to do. Don't forget to smash it, guys. Smash it hard. And I will be back tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central for more news and stuff and things. Told you I'd keep it to around 2 hours. I wasn't completely wrong. But let's rock here on our way out.
Land of power, land of might, exceptional rage, endless fight, patriot bulldozer, leading the way, crushing all foes, making them pay.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you, Just Jim, for another 111 gold pills. Freaking awesome. Appreciate the heck out of that. Y'all have a great rest of the evening. I will see you all tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central. Y'all have a good one.